That didn't sound good. It's funny, how many of these episodes am I going to start with? We got audio issues. As many as it takes. That's it, man. You gotta, there's only one way to learn, and it's this way. What can I do about it? Nothing. Do I sound, let me know. Do I sound weird? Do I sound, it's in my ears, it sounds tinny and kind of like distant, like speaking into one of those like gramophone things. But what are you gonna do? Thanks for being here. So people hate the Matrix trailer. People love it. I think both are a form of liking it if you do it right. Like I watch movies like not the first one. That's a fucking brilliant piece of cinema. It's a classic. I've seen it 30, 40 times. But the ones after, those are good bad or bad good. However, you can watch them and love them because you hate them. I do that with so many movies. Like, I don't like comedies. I think comedies are usually fucking awful. And they're too long, they're not funny, they're predictable. But nothing is better and funnier than an action movie or like a spy espionage or like alien invasion that wants to be so serious and so dramatic, but it sucks so fucking hard that it becomes the funniest movie of all time. Volcano, The Core, Matrix 2 and 3, but a little less so when I watch them more. I'm like, no, they weren't bad. But any of those, anything with The Rock, and I love The Rock. I mean, since, he was a fucking wrestler. Like, I was on board way back then. I was watching him on fucking, back when it was called WWF. Yeah. No, that's when you're getting old. When you're like, I remember when a thing had one different letter. Like, it literally just makes me more, I've found ways not to die yet. But anyway, did you guys ever see San Andreas? Dude, that's one of the fucking best. All these movies start the same way. It's guy who wants to hang it up or is just like about to be done with this potentially dangerous job that could take his life at any moment. And then he's kind of probably talking about it or whatever. And then at some point in the first few minutes, they mention that he has special forces skills. Always. He'll make some joke. He'll be like, yeah, well, you said that back in the foxholes in Iraq, if they had foxholes there, I don't know. But they'll make, like, well, no wonder you were dishonorably discharged from the Navy SEALs. Or that's always mentioned, because then you're like, okay. And then usually around the same time, they will mention that he has like a family that he's like, I trying to get to, or when this job is over next week, barring some catastrophic event doesn't change all that, I'm gonna retire and be a better father. Liam Neeson films, every one of those, First Taken, legit good. All the other ones, and then every other action movie after that of his, they're basically like, I'm Liam Neeson, And I used to be a train killer, but I haven't seen my son enough lately, or I miss my daughter, or I'm going to be a better family man. And then some fucking Eastern European terrorist organization does something stupid, and then he's like, breaks out his particular set of skills. Every single movie is a version of Taken that takes place in a plane, on a bus, in a car, something like that. And they're so serious, but they're so bad, which makes them so funny. Just Google any Liam Neeson film and then watch it and laugh and just know it's not good. No, this isn't, there's going to be fucking crater size plot holes. Who cares? That's better to me. Someone trying to make a serious fucking action film and just face planning and making a bad one than someone who tries to make like a good comedy. They're all boring and predictable. At least the action movies that are predictable, it's like they didn't think they would be, and the actors are going for it as if it's fucking, the story's real and there's high stakes that you as a viewer don't see coming fucking 10 miles ahead. They're so funny. The Core is up there with as one of the best. Volcano with Tommy Lee Jones, those are good. Throw in other ones if I haven't seen them. I'll watch them. Literally all of them. Yeah, those are the best. So anyway, there's no losing with the new Matrix, because if it's good, great. Fucking the Wachowskis, or I think it's just one of the two. Lana, I think, is doing it solo. It's if they make it good, great. I'm in. If I hear good reviews, which I usually try and avoid about movies I'm excited, I don't want to know a fucking thing outside the title. Sometimes, if I can stop someone before, hey, there's a new movie with good or bad, good, I'll watch it. But then I'll need the title, because how will I find it? Unless you blindfold me, take me to the theater you went to, give you my credit card, you get the ticket, sit me down, blindfold, and then you leave. And then if it sucks, like they tried super hard and it's just an unintentional parody of itself, that's almost better for me. I deep down want it to suck. I love it. I do that on social media. I hate follow people. Not hate's a strong word, but for the purposes of just phrasing, it's fun to hate follow people. For years I've followed either actors or musicians that I don't even fucking like, and then sometimes random people you'll just see and you go, this is a person's life. They do this every day, and it's just photos of them doing like duck lips, that kind of shit, and going to Vegas or like Miami. I follow this one person I've never even don't know or never met or don't want to, but it's just representative of all the people that do this, and I am transfixed by it. Like, I'm always like, oh, what's this week's vacation? And then I go through it, and it's the same day, the same week, the same life over and over and over for 7-8 years now. I'm like, people voluntarily live like this. This is fun for them, and it's never what I'd do, but it's entertaining. That's a part of it. I think it's like it helps you take life less seriously when you can look at something and go, this is awful, but let's find the entertainment in it. Fast and the Furious, for so long, man, I put off watching those movies, and I was like, dude, they're driving cars everywhere and getting into fucking gunfights or car fights with who. I'm like, this is stupid. It's dumb. And then you see people like getting together with their friends to go watch them, and you're like, that could be fun. Yeah, just fucking go laugh and point at the theater, and then I'm like, well, I could just do that at home alone. And I watched the first one. This is like right when Fast 8, I think, was coming out. The one before this, whatever that is. So I was like, yeah, let me see what's up with these. And I watched all 8 in a 36-hour period. And I didn't even have the flu or COVID or anything like that. I just was just like, this is so dumb. And then I just, one after the other, I watched all of them. And they're so good in that they're not There Will Be Blood. They're so far from incredible cinema that it just like weirdly loops back around and becomes good in a whole different way. Now, I've never watched them again, but I would go to like a backyard Fast and the Furious, marathon viewing party where we're all just gonna fucking, laugh and enjoy how terrible they are. If you have movies that are like that, send them my way. I'll watch them. I love it. There was one that was on Amazon with like, oh fuck, what was it called? It was these guys that travel into the future to fight a war that's happening then. Maybe like Chris Pratt's in it or something like that. And they can only go for like 20 minutes and they come back. It's just the plot. Or was it Michael B. Jordan was in it? Either way, he was in a new one too. That's on like HBO or Amazon. Not good, but mindless bullshit. If you have 90 minutes and you're like, today was stressful, I just want to turn my brain off. Watch, and you're almost laughing between the lines, because you're just like, oh, they meant that to be like awe-inspiring or like amazing and impressive, and terrible. And people say it's negative, like, why would you hate watch something? It's because I like it. Find the negative in that. I'm enjoying this thing I hate. Was it cancel it? Is it neutral? Because I'm fucking smiling at the end. Anyway, I'm watching the fucking Matrix. I don't give a shit. I won't even watch a trailer. Should do a simple observation, then wrap it up. Oof. That's a good one, but that's a whole fucking podcast episode. What does a selfless act look like? I might actually bookmark that and do a whole fucking separate thing on it, because that's a good one. Isn't it? A lot of these are, it's funny, a lot of these, like, they give you, this much space, and the question is, like, do you think people are born good? What? You could fucking fill a whole entire one of these. People have, it's called philosophy. Treasure Possession, I did that one. Look around what's at the end of the universe? It's funny, I should have just picked one and just do you look on the bright side in difficult situations? That actually is kind of related to what we've been talking about. I think when it comes to shitty, bad, good movies, that is that exact thing. That's looking on the bright side in either a, difficult or just shitty, oh, I wanted this movie to be good. Well, let's find the good. But I think I do look on the bright side in difficult situations. For example, all of stand-up comedy, all of the entertainment industry is one long, difficult situation. And yes, there are times where I just fucking skid into the negativity. I'm like, fuck this and that. I fucking what? But then that's like venting ultimately. But I am optimistic about a difficult situation because I think if you enter it, either you got yourself there, whether you like it or not, and you're like, the only way out of it is to find the bright side or, the way out. Or if you voluntarily, like, I'm going to pursue a career in entertainment, or I'm going to pursue, like learning an instrument or a language. Man, the only way out is finding the bright spots. Because if you're like negatively going through it the whole time, you'll be there forever. And you could even argue that sometimes saying like quitting something that's so hard and you hate it and you never found the passion in it, you could argue that is the bright side, is like accepting that maybe this thing isn't for me, whether it's, I don't know, moving to fucking Europe because you thought that was better, like getting into a relationship with someone where you're like, dude, we are not having fun. Get out. Try it for as long as you can. And if you're just like, I'm never happy, some things won't have like a happy ending. And that's not even like bad, because we're not meant to do and experience everything forever successfully. But yeah, I think that's like, when it comes to something like the entertainment industry, I have like a deep down belief in myself that is, even when on my worst days, I'm just like, no, I can and I want to and I still love it. And in other ways, you almost condition yourself where you're like, this is the way it is, keep going, find a reason to try again tomorrow, write a new joke, have a better audition, all that stuff. Some of it's conditioning, and it doesn't matter. You don't always have to believe, but if it gets you to the next day and you're enjoying the next day, I mean, that's the brighter side of fucking yesterday. I like this book. That was the brighter side of this podcast. Simple observations. There's a bunch of these too. I could fucking, and then I'm sure there's another volume. I guess complicated observations would be like, a book on ethics. Anyway, I told myself I'd keep it under 20, and we're at 1924. Oh, there's a fucking comment. We'll answer it, and then we'll end. Hold on, I'm going to add it to broadcast. Hey, Nick, don't know if you remember me, but I was wondering what you think about optimism in loss. For instance, loss of family due to disowning. To be honest, I don't know if I remember you, because your photo is a picture of Leonardo DiCaprio. So if I remember, you mean, did I watch you in The Departed and like it? Yeah, I did. Leo, great job. Loss of family due to disowning. I mean, who did the disowning, I guess? Like, did you disown them, or did they disown you? I feel if you disown them, I mean, that's going to hurt. That's like a breakup of sorts. And then you just got to remind yourself why you did it. But if they disown you, what's wrong with you? No. I don't know, man. That's a good one. That's not a simple answer, I guess. But I guess here's an optimistic way to look at it. You are now freer than you've ever been in your whole life. Because how many things can you like move away from or get involved in, no matter how deep, but at some point you come out of it and you have to go back to family. Either a phone call, how are you? Go to a wedding or visit for the holidays. Imagine your whole family's like, you're gone. Ultimately, it's like, if you're a good person and you believe it, okay. I mean, they're only family by blood. What's fucking blood? Like, your parents gave birth to you. And if they don't fucking want you around anymore, whether, I'm sure there's good reasons or bad reasons for that, but if they disown you for just being you or something, you're like, oh, I don't want to be religious, or I'm like, gay, lesbian, whatever. I think that's good. It'll take a while, I guess. I've never been disowned by a family member, but yeah, if they disown me for just being me, I mean, I'd take a period of time to mourn, because in a way they're kind of dead to you, I guess, but and then enjoy your fucking freedom, man. You can start, it's like you're being reborn. You can like start your own family and not answer to anything that came before it, holiday, like, where are we going for Christmas? That's easy. We're going to your place. Tell your wife or husband. That's another silver lining. No arguments about where we going for the holidays ever. It's fucking your place. That's a good question. This is a cool book. Anyway, I went over 20, but I should have saw that questionnaire. I'm gonna move this comment thing up a little bit or over. All right. You guys didn't need to know that part. That was just for me. See you tomorrow.
It's the end of the show. Like, subscribe, and comment. Don't be a dick.
Do what that song says.